Achievement Award. But I spent many years coxing this man at Tideway Scullers when he came and joined us on the on-water rowing community, and this man knows how to race. He is also somebody with pre-race rituals, and as the crew and as a cox, we would support and respect that as well. But when he gets his force behind the oar, you can really feel the boat shift. So I'm intrigued to see what he's going to do to that rowing machine today. But he is the current record holder, the British record holder for the 40 to 49 men's group. He got that in 2016. He still holds it at a 5:48.3. So that's about a 1:27 split. So this Masters 40 to 49 age group men, Graham there, of course, as we go into that first 250 metres of that race, absolutely flying through, rating 32 on a 1:31, followed closely behind by Frédéric Lurius from France on a 35 and a 1:33. Now the psychology here as well is that Graham knows he's what he's got, where he's at, and he's got years and years of experience, not just winning but going out and delivering and performing with the pressure of being a known winner. And that can be tough, but can also really add to the adrenaline and your excitement. And then every other person in this field, they will probably know who he is. He is known not just in the on-water field. I think he's finaled at 3 times at Henley Royal Regattas. So on-water rowers will know him, but also the CrossFit and indoor rowing community will know him as well. So the target's there, but this man knows what to do. So into the second 500 metres of this 2,000 metre race. Fergus, how's our field looking? How are they settling out now?
Well, I think, as you mentioned, I think we're going to have a very tightly packed field, particularly there. You can see Chris Herron, Frédéric Louis, Kate Stringer, Bruno Lemos Silva, Danny Graham and Martin Evans. They're your chasing pack at the moment, and that pack is chasing down Graham Benton, our race leader. 32 strokes a minute, sitting comfortable on a 1:32. Already a lead of about 13-14 metres over the rest of the field. Chris Herron is the next competitor back. But when you've got Graham Benton out in front, sitting on those lower splits, those 1:32s, 1:33s, it makes it very difficult to come back and chase down. But it's all to play for. We've got about 1,200 metres still to play, and we still haven't hit the third 500 or so. But looking down the rest of the field, we've got about 7 or 8 guys within about 15 metres of each other. Matthew West, Ian Wild, Ryan Corcoran, Paul Primrose, I should say. All battling, all tussling, just taking turns of who's going to have that bow ball in front of that chasing pack every so often. And it's going to be fascinating to see actually who kicks on as we come up to that 1,000 metre mark, who goes early, who sort of stamps their authority on the race to bring themselves back into contention or to move themselves out in front of those who are around them. But Graham Benton at the moment, Zoe, leading with about 950 metres to go or so. He's looking consistent, he's staying consistent with his rate, his splits, 1:32s, 1:33s that we've seen for the past couple of 100 metres or so, etching out ahead of Kane Stringer, who's just creeping up ahead of Danny Graham and Frédéric Louis, just struggling to match the pace at the moment. We'll wait and see what sort of a sprint finish he can muster. But out in front, Zoe, deep in that third 500, it's still Graham Benton.
Oh yeah, that man knows exactly what he's doing. This is his gig, this is his stage, and he knows exactly what he's doing every single stroke. He will have a race plan absolutely refined, and I tell you that when that man gets the blinkers on, there is nothing coming between him and the goal that he wants. But looking through, like you said, where else do you get to race against names like that? Looking here for Harry Armstrong, so he's on the screen on the left hand side there. He's from Real Fitness Gym. Now he's been rowing for 1 year, so he's cycled for the last 20 years. So that man there, he knows how to race and he does know how to compete, but he is 1 year rowing. So where else do you get to row against people like this? What a mix of caliber. Paul Bimrose there as well. This is his first competition, and he started rowing on the Concept 2 just over a year ago. So doing really fantastically there now as we start approaching that last 500 metres. So a 1:32 there from Graham, and look at that from Kane as well. He is matching Graham's split. Now 24 metres behind with 400 or so metres to go. Graham will be in control and he'll know how to manage this race. He knows what time he has to beat. We've got the 6:31 fastest time so far, 6:31.2 from Matthew Baker in the previous heat of this race. So these gents know if they want to be in a chance of picking up some silverware, that's the time to beat. But Graham there just stepping up to 35s, Kane going with him as well. We're now approaching that last 200 metres of this race. Some good competition in there for third from Frédéric Lurias from France, followed by the Portuguese Bruno Lemos Silva, a couple of metres behind, both of them there at 34. And approaching the line, I think Graham's got this tied up. Kane really pushing hard there to hold, but Graham's going to take that crew to the line. Looking there, Chris Herron challenging Bruno, David Kelly just behind him, but look at that midfield, all within metres of each other. But let's see what time comes up for Graham now. Oof. Almost sub-6. That he knows exactly what he needed to do there. A 6:00.6 for Graham Bentham. And then Kane just there behind, 6:10. Frédéric Lurias from France, 6:13.6. And David Kelly from Ireland, 6:15.3, 6:15.7 for the Portuguese Bruno Lemos Silva, Chris Herron there. And as the field come through, Ben Yeager, Ian Wild, and all of them just coming through now. So we have James Hyde from GB coming into the finish line, rating 35 there. My gosh, that's going to be a bit of a lung burner later. And then we can see more of our international athletes now approaching the last 100 metres of this 2,000 metre race. The feeling you get when you finish, initially you are catching your breath and just seeing if you can re-see that room around you, but what a feeling afterwards. And I think they'll be very pleased with those results. So Graham, I think he's done what he needed to do. As we've said, these are provisional results and they will be confirmed later on. So do stay